3 miles? Are you telling me the government has traveling cameras, traveling flying cameras no less, that could invade my privacy 3 miles from the police station? Is this program regulated at all?
Hey guys, welcome back to Leet Life in Real Life. I'm Riley,
I'm Ryan.
and tonight we will be discussing the autonomous police drones at Chula Vista, California.
I thought the police were already using drones. I saw a video the other day of a lady getting yelled at by a drone for not complying with COVID stay at home.
Ha! That is correct. Police have been using them in all types of ways, and coronavirus has amplified their use, but autonomous drones are a little different.
How so?
Most police stations abide by current FAA standards and have used drones in simple, manually flown ways. An officer would usually carry a drone in the trunk of his patrol car and drive to the crime scene before deploying.
Well, I'm guessing since these drones are automated, the police don't have to be drone mules anymore.
Correct. These drones are launched from the Chula Vista Police Department rooftop and autonomously reach the crime scene.
But what if the crime scene is really far away? I know I'm not allowed to fly my drone beyond my line of sight.
Well, the FAA has granted the CVPD a waiver allowing their police drones to be flown as far as 3 miles from the launch site.
3 miles? Are you telling me the government has traveling cameras, traveling flying cameras no less, that could invade my privacy 3 miles from the police station? Is this program regulated at all?
Of course, it's regulated. A certified pilot must be at the roof to oversee the launch, and then a pilot is also required to be with a police officer at the command station and handle most of the flying once the drone reaches its destination.
Most of the flying? Are you telling me a pilot has to be there but isn't even required to fly the drone?
It appears so.
That sounds really regulated to me. But this must be some type of program that's in a trial phase in a small community, right?
Well, Chula Vista has a population of 270,000 people.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty large town. How do they store the footage for 300,000 people?
It's treated just like body cam video. The footage is stored as evidence and only publicly released with approval.
Oh, well, that puts my privacy concerns a little bit at ease. But a city like that, they must be deploying these drones all the time.
The drones respond to as many as 15 emergency calls per day.
Whoa, so they're pretty busy. Those pilots must be ready to go all day long. That can't be cheap to have pilots waiting on standby. How much do these things go for?
The drones cost $35,000 each and are equipped with long distance cameras and other sensors and software.
Whoa, that's a really expensive drone. And they also got to pay for pilots and police officers to staff and maintain it so they're ready to go 24/7. Well, it's got to be cheaper though than sending in the choppas, right?
Yeah, it sure is cheaper than a helicopter, but the main cost of the program lies in the many officers and pilots needed to operate the drones.
Well, with 15 deployments a day, they must be around all day waiting to go. I don't know a police station that deploys their choppa 15 times a day.
That is correct.
So they could actually be more expensive in the end?
Well, yes and no. It will be much cheaper for police forces that already contract helicopter services, but it will be a new expense that increases the yearly budget for departments that do not.
Well, I've yet to encounter a police department that doesn't want the latest and greatest technology. But with all these cameras and software, they gotta be advantageous for the community, right?
They sure do. These autonomous drones can track vehicles or people without human help.
So the police can target and track me all day? That doesn't really sound advantageous.
Well, it will follow you until the battery runs out, but then they can just send another.
All right. Well, I have rights, and I'm not sure these police can follow me around all day. I mean, they gotta get a warrant, right?
Yeah, they don't.
So, no warrant, super expensive, lots of police forces. They gotta be used for them, these big, bad crimes like major robberies and murders, right?
They could for sure.
Could? Are we going down this path again of just a stupid idea like we did with the liquid telescope? What are these drones being used for?
Primarily disturbance calls.
So I lose my privacy so the police can investigate a trespassing happening across the street with a drone?
Well, they also get used for assault and domestic violence calls.
Well, that sounds like a great use for them. The drones are probably the first on scene, and they really must reduce the response time.
They sure do. They reduced priority 1 calls down by 2 minutes and priority 2 calls by almost 5 minutes. But they arrive first on scene less than 50% of the time.
That's pretty good, but I mean, is that it? You gotta think with these flying drones and the costs and everything involved that they would really reduce the response times by a lot more than that.
Oh, they will. With more drones, those numbers will reduce significantly.
More drones, or do you mean less privacy? Because I'm pretty sure I already seen how this all turns out in the movies. So last week, we asked you, the viewers, how much you thought moon rocks were worth. Well, I've got some news for you. Buyers, including NASA, will pay anywhere from $1 to $50,000 for a single moon rock. And I bet you've already guessed it, but if you haven't, NASA just recently signed a contract with a Colorado-based firm for them to bring back moon rocks from the south pole of the moon, brand new moon rocks, nothing new, nothing, going to the moon and back on a rocket. And NASA is going to pay that company a grand total for the entire venture of $1. So with that in mind, moon rocks are absolutely priceless because you can't get them here on Earth, but absolutely worthless at the same time because people aren't going to pay you $1 to go into outer space and get those things.
So this week's question that we have for you guys is, how would you feel if a drone was first on scene to assist you? Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you guys watching these videos, adding your comments, hitting that like button, and just hitting that bell icon. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And thanks again for watching. I'm Riley.
And I'm Ryan. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be Leet. Okay. Well, then at least keep me chuckling in afterwards, kind of thing, so they know I'm like not seriously trying to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger.